Okay, today's topic is drawing of hypocycloid. So, in the series of cycloids, we already discussed how to draw a cycloid and epicycloid, and now we are in the step hypocycloid. So, hypocycloid, how this curve is formed and what is the basic on that curve, we already discussed in the first class. However, I give you a short intro about what is a cycloid, hypocycloid. So, whenever a smaller circle or a generator circle is rotates inside of another bigger circle and completing one full revolution. The hypocycloidal curve is nothing but the path traced by a point in the circumference of the smaller circle during this transmission process. So the curve will be looking like that. So consider this is what your generator circle, smaller circle. It start to roll on the inside of the another circle in order to move from this position to that position by rotating in counterclockwise direction. So this is what the point we are aimed. So for the each and every position, the point will be dislocated, and at the end, the point again come and reach the touching point of the smaller and bigger circle. So when you track the path traced by the point, this will become the curve. That curve is nothing but the hypocycloidal curve. So this is what we are going to draw now. Already we are familiar with drawing the cycloid and epicycloid. The same procedure with some modifications based on this environment only we are going to have. And let's do how the curve can be drawn. And this is what the problem statement here. So a circle of diameter 50 mm. This is nothing but the diameter of the smaller circle or generator circle. 50 mm rolls inside of another circle of diameter 200 mm. So this 200 mm diameter is nothing but diameter of the bigger circle or the director circle. Okay. And you need to draw the path traced by a point in the smaller circle. Simply they are asking to draw the hypocycloidal curve. Since the generator circle rolls inside of the director circle, the curve will be the hypocycloidal curve. Okay. And let me to rub off the problem. And I need to note two things importantly. The diameter of the generator circle is 50 mm. Diameter of the director circle is 200 mm. First of all, as usual, you need to draw the small arc of the bigger circle. Before that, you can find out the angle for which we need to draw the bigger circle. That is our directing arc. So here, the diameter of the generator circle is 50 mm. Diameter of the director circle is 200 mm. So when you apply R by R into 360 formula in order to find out the theta value, here R value is 25 mm and capital R value is 100 mm into 360. If you found that angle theta will be 90 degree. Angle theta will be 90 degree. So keep this 90 degree angle in mind. Now draw the sector or simply draw the arc, directing arc. So have the common center C here. Is it visible? Yes. Common center C here. From this, take the radius 100 mm. Take the radius 100 mm in your compass and aim for 90 degree. Aim for 90 degree. 90 degree. This is what the theta value we found out. And with 100 mm radius, draw the arc. this arc is nothing but directing arc, the arc which is going to be the pathway of the generator circle to facilitate its rolling inside. Okay, it's a directing arc. Its radius is 100 mm. Just for your reference, I am marking the mm unit here. But in newer A3 size paper, as per our rules, you may declare all dimensions are in mm statement in just above the title block, and you need not to mention the unit here and there in the drawing. And now, here, from this point, take 25 mm distance and mark the center point of the generator circle. Now use your compass and load the radius with 25 mm and draw the generator circle. This generator circle is going to roll inside this pathway up to this point in order to complete one full revolution. Okay. And as usual, split this generator circle into 8 equal parts. So by making this one as reference, I am drawing one more line perpendicular to that, and with a 45-degree inclination, I am drawing two more lines in order to split this circle into 8 equal parts, and I am naming them as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 or 0, whatever it may be. And now, by making the common center C as origin in our compass and the O as radius, CO as radius, draw an arc up to this range. That arc is nothing but arc of centers. Okay, arc of centers. And then making C, common center C as a center and 7 as radius, you can draw an arc which is passed through the point 1 also. Here, this is not a perfectly dimensioned circle. So, when you do with the proper tools in your paper, definitely you can get it in the correct way. And 6 in this way, you can draw arcs by making common C as a center, and from 5 and 3, 4, 6 and 2, 7 and 1, 8. In this way, you can produce arcs. And then now, split this 8 to this much directing arc into 8 equal parts. What we already did in the epicycloidal curve case. So you need to split this directing arc into 8 equal parts by using a simple geometric method. So here let me to do that. I just split it into 8 equal parts. Now name them as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and finally 8. And now join all the points with the common center. These joint lines will intersect the arc of center at a point. Mark the points at the centers. See here, this is nothing but the arc of center. So in this view, it may be a little bit confusing one, but in the paper, if you do the things, you can get a clear vision on that. So here I am getting O1 and there O2, O3, O4, O5, O6, O7 and O8. Up to O8 you can mark. And now, as usual, starting from O1, take your campus and load it with the radius equal to the radius of the generator circle, that is 25 mm. With the 25 mm loaded radius in the campus, make O1 as a center and cut one arc in the arc produced from 7 and 1. See here, 7 and 1, we produced one arc up to this length. In this arc, cut a small arc in the leftward direction. Okay, not in the rightward direction, in the leftward direction. And the same way, from O2 as a center, in the arc produced from the 2 and 6, cut one arc in the leftward direction. Similarly, from O3 as a center, in the arc produced through 5 and 3, cut one arc. And then from O4 as a center, see here, this is the arc produced through the point 4. So if you supposed to cut the arc, you can't cut the arc. This can be just a tangent because this distance is equal to 25 mm. Okay, cut the arc. And similarly, make O5 as a center in the campus. In the arc produced from the point 5 and 3, this arc, in this arc, you need to cut one arc in the rightward direction, not in the leftward direction. So at the maximum of reaching the point 4, hereafter you need to cut the arc in the rightward direction. So cut arc here. And the same way, make O6 as a center, and this is nothing but the arc drawn from the 6, cut one arc. And finally, O7 as a center, from the arc drawn through 7, cut one arc. And now, O8 as a center, here the arc is drawn from 8. So if you are supposed to cut the arc, you can touch as a tangent only. So here the last point we need to mark. And then start to connect it, starting from 8 to 8, connecting all the cut points. So here the hypocycloidal curve is not sounds good because it's not a perfectly drawn with a proper scale and dimensions. So it's an for demonstration purpose only. In this way, you can connect the hypocycloidal curve when you do it with the proper tools in your paper. And now you can draw the tangent and normal for that also. So first make a point in any place of the curve. In any place of the curve. Here I am making a point. So from this point, take your compass and load the radius with the radius of the generator circle. Cut one arc in the arc of centers. Arc of centers. Okay. And now starting from C towards this cut point, maybe this point named as A. Okay. So here I need to draw the tangent and normal. So I am marking it as point P. This is point P. For that I need to draw tangent and normal. And from this point I am cutting one arc in the arc of center. That point I named as A. So from C, draw a line through A up to reaching the directing arc. And in the directing arc, you will get one more point, that is nothing but point B. Okay. So from point B, draw a line towards point P, for which you need to draw the tangent and normal. So this line is nothing but the normal. So now set your drafters one scale in line with the normal line and draw a perpendicular line to your normal through the same point. That line is nothing but the tangent line for the hypocycloidal curve. So in this way you can draw the tangent and the normal for the curve in this problem. Okay. So the procedure is just resembles the procedure of cycloid and epicycloid, but based on this environment, we are slightly modifying the procedure. Okay. So this is about the drawing of hypocycloidal curve. So once you have any doubt in that, we can discuss.